You are listening to a special update episode with Timothy E. Baker. Enjoy. Welcome back. My name is Timothy Baker, and thank you for joining me on this special episode. On the journey of life, there are times when we have to really look at, are we on track with where we want to be? Are we following our purpose? And more importantly, are we enjoying life? As I have been working with this podcast now for about 2 years, trying to really understand what message I would like to share and communicate, not only to help myself, because that's really what I started this for, is just a personal accountability record that's public. So if I put something out there that I have, something that's maintaining accountability to standards or commitments I'm making. It's then hopefully turning into a resource for you guys to find commonalities in stories or situations that may be beneficial in how you approach or go through certain things in your life. So, as I've looked at the last 2 years, what I've come to understand is the way to communicate should kind of mimic what I did with the Easter eggs and stone Easter egg experience that I had, and how that related to a biblical or motivational or self-development story. So I think that makes a lot of sense. But in addition to that, what I've been challenged with, because I love uh, the logo or the title of Faithful Sinners. That's pretty awesome, because we are all faithful. We are all sinners. So the understanding is just, what are we faithful to, and what are we doing about us being sinners? So the challenge I've had with it is the word sin. I've used that as a phenomenal acronym: share, inspire, and navigate. And I still feel that is a very usable approach. And there are components of what have been used over the last couple of years that I'm going to definitely maintain. But what I've been really struggling with is, I think I've narrowed my audience a little bit, or the receptivity of some people out there, because of the word sin being involved in the title. So what I have actually been praying about and working around and getting communication on is, how can we rebrand this, or restructure this that really aligns with the purpose and my heart? So how do I go about making an adjustment with the name that will still resonate? Well, I have had an email address for, 35 years maybe, of Choose the Future. It's been, I'm gonna make sure the camera doesn't blow over, because I've gotten a little wind pickup here. But the Choose the Future has been an email address I've had on multiple, and still have on multiple different platforms for decades. And the purpose behind that email was exactly what it says: I get to choose future. Now, that has then come into play with, how does that resonate in this environment? Well, I'm looking at a new logo, new branding, that would be Choose the Future Today. I think that aligns with what we're trying to do, because we are shaping our tomorrow today, and we are getting to choose what today is driven by, the results of it, and that is ultimately going to be our future tomorrow. So learning throughout the day and reflecting upon days and understanding biblically how things come into play with the dynamics of all of the things that are happening in the world right now, I think is a phenomenal way for me to be able to rebrand all of this and position and leverage some of the same tools that are out there right now. So I would really appreciate uh, your feedback, your input. You can check me out on YouTube and provide comments there, or on Facebook or Instagram. And this is also broadcast across Spotify and iHeartRadio and also Apple Podcasts. So wherever you may happen to be finding this, I would truly appreciate it because it really does give me an understanding as to what's working, what's not working, and who I can help impact the most. Because, really, I think this is going out to anybody that feels lost or broken or feels hopeless. And guess what? We've all been there at some point, or we're all going to be there at some point. So I think it's just a matter of where is this finding you, and whatever platform you're finding this on, I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and follow us and like us, and more importantly, share us. Share what I'm trying to do, because ultimately, I think we can become a phenomenal community that does inspire one another. We work with helping to share communications around what challenges or opportunities or excitements or fun things that may be happening in life, so that we can all navigate together on a better way forward to ensure that the future that we're all going to experience is the one that we desire and hope for, not one that we struggle through and wish was different. One other thing that I neglected to mention here was that, as far as the symbolism that I've been using, I've got a phenomenal apple that I think is fantastic. Um, the icons, the flame, and the torch. And in addition to that, we have our microphone, which I think is awesome. Um, but all of these things, I think, still have purpose and value. I think they have an understanding of meaning in their symbolism. So I will definitely continue to integrate those. But one thing I struggled with, because I really love that apple. It's phenomenal. But as I did a little bit more digging behind that, something that I, as a Christian, really never gave a second thought about was, what does the symbol of the apple really mean? Because, Satan's a master at manipulation and being able to spread his message right in front of our face, and we don't even know it's happening. So as I started to look at it and understand, and actually talk to a buddy of mine, Craig, and discuss, some history behind things, the apple itself was what Adam and Eve used to separate themselves from God. It's the beginning of, of all sin, realistically. And as far as that apple, we see it shown all the time. Uh, Here's the apple of Adam and Eve, and the sin that was caused because of it. Well, me using an apple as a portion of my logo, because I was considering this as a brand to operate under, um, references then me glorifying that apple, which then subconsciously or subliminally glorifies making my own choice and not needing God, stepping away from God. That is not at all what I'm about. So, yeah, it's a cool symbol. But how, why, when we reference it, maybe something that you want to reconsider or reflect upon before doing so. Because some of those things may have hidden meanings that are subverting our thoughts and our minds in ways that we're not even aware of. But again, I really do appreciate you taking time. I hope that you will go ahead and share so that we can turn our sins into wins.
Thank you for listening, and be sure to watch for the transition from faithful sinners to choose the future today so you can continue tuning in on your favorite social media or podcast station.